The most brilliant version of you already exists. It's just trapped in the world of pure potential, a ghost living in your daydreams. This is about the invisible physics that keeps it there. You're about to learn the mechanical reason why having a powerful purpose can feel exactly like standing still. By the end of this, you'll see the precise architecture of the gap between your vision and your reality. And you'll understand that the tools you think of for building bridges are actually for reinforcing the cage. The process begins with a simple counterfeit transaction inside your skull. When you sit down and vividly imagine achieving your goal, writing the book, launching the business, running the marathon, your brain's reward system gives you a little hit of dopamine. It's a chemical down payment on a success that hasn't happened. It feels good. It feels like progress. The detailed plan, the vision board, the 5-year outlook, these things produce a shadow of the satisfaction of the real achievement. Your brain, in its incredible efficiency, sometimes struggles to distinguish between the vivid simulation of a victory and an actual one. You get the reward without the work. The problem is, this feeling is a currency that devalues over time. The initial excitement of the idea is potent, but it fades. And when it does, you're left with the same mountain to climb, only now you've already spent the initial burst of motivating energy. You've tasted the reward, and the thought of the immense uncertain effort required to earn it for real suddenly seems like a very bad deal. This chemical illusion is the first layer of the execution gap. It convinces you that thinking is a form of doing. But what happens when you push past this and actually try to start? That's when you collide with the laws of psychological physics. Your current life, right now, has a kind of gravity. It's a system of behaviors, routines, and beliefs that all reinforce each other. They define your present identity. You are the person who does these things. When you decide to pursue a new ambitious purpose, you are declaring your intention to become someone else. The first real action you take is a vote against your current self. This creates an immediate and powerful internal friction. It's the discomfort of acting out of character. Think of your life as a river that has carved a deep channel into the landscape over years. Every habit, every relationship, every choice has deepened this channel. Your purpose is a desire to divert that entire river onto a new course. That first action writing, the first paragraph, making the first sales call, lacing up the running shoes for the first time, is like trying to force the water up and over the canyon wall. The path of least resistance will always be to keep flowing where you've always flowed. The execution gap feels like a lack of motivation, but it's actually the immense energy cost of fighting your own identity's inertia. Every cell in your body is optimized for the person you were yesterday, and it will fight to keep things that way. This internal battle is exhausting. It explains the hesitation and the procrastination, but the system has an even more subtle defense mechanism, one designed to protect you from a very specific kind of pain. The purpose that lives only in your mind is perfect. It's flawless. In your imagination, the book is a masterpiece. The company is a wild success. Your new life is everything you dreamed it would be. It hasn't been exposed to the harsh, messy reality of execution. The moment you take the first step, you introduce the possibility of failure. You risk discovering that your idea wasn't as brilliant as you thought, or that you lack the skill to pull it off. Inaction preserves the fantasy. It keeps your potential self safe and pristine. It's a form of ego protection. It is far more comfortable to be the person who could have been a great artist than to be the person who is currently producing clumsy, amateurish art. The daydream is a sanctuary where your potential is infinite. The real world is a workshop where your first attempt will inevitably be flawed. The execution gap, from this perspective, is a moat you build around your ego. Staying on the side of someday means you never have to face the discouraging reality of being a beginner. You never have to confront the gap between your grand vision and your current, limited ability. The potential feels so much better than the awkward, stumbling reality of the first draft. And this defensive crouch is made even stronger by one of the most common things we do when we get excited about a new goal. You get a brilliant idea. A new purpose crystallizes in your mind. You feel a surge of energy, and the first thing you do is tell someone. You explain your grand plan to your friends, your family, your partner. They get excited for you. They say, "That's amazing, you'd be so good at that." And in that moment, you get a hit of social validation. You receive the social rewards of your future achievement before you've taken a single step. Researchers have found that this act of announcing your intentions can be disastrous for follow-through. It satisfies the brain's need for social approval. In a sense, you've already performed the identity you want to have. In the minds of your friends, you are now the person who is going to write a novel. You get the status bump without the struggle. This social reality becomes a substitute for the actual one, draining the motivational force required to do the difficult, private, unglamorous work. The very act of seeking encouragement can diffuse the psychological tension needed to begin. So your brain's chemistry tricks you with counterfeit progress. Your current identity creates gravitational drag. Your ego builds a fortress of potential. And the people you trust for support accidentally strip mine your motivation. The entire system seems designed for stagnation. Yet, some people do break through, and the key is found in the scale of their ambition. Specifically on day one, we believe a grand purpose demands a grand entrance. We feel we need to clear the calendar, find a huge block of uninterrupted time, and make a dramatic, heroic start. This is a trap. The sheer size of that perfect first step makes it infinitely procrastinatable. It raises the stakes so high that the fear of failure becomes paralyzing. It magnifies all the resistance we've already discussed. The solution is to disrespect the grandness of the purpose with a ridiculously small action, an action so tiny it's almost insulting. The goal is to have a non-zero day. You want to write a book? The goal for today is to write one sentence, just one. You want to get fit? The goal is to do one push-up, or just put on your running shoes and tie them. That's it. That's the victory. This approach works because it's too small for your ego to object to. It's impossible to fail at writing one sentence. The identity friction is almost zero. Even the current you can do something that takes 30 seconds. It generates no fear. Instead, it does something crucial. It shifts your identity just a little. You are no longer someone who is going to write a book someday. You are now someone who wrote today. The difference between 0 and 1 is infinite. The difference between 1 and 2 is merely incremental. By taking a microscopic non-zero action, you move from the realm of pure potential into the world of physical reality. You cast a single tiny vote for your future self. This is how momentum is born. It starts with an action so small that it bypasses all the brain's defense mechanisms. This builds a foundation, but to make it last, you have to confront one final illusion about the nature of purpose itself. The entire concept of an execution gap is built on a flawed metaphor. It implies that your purpose is a destination on the other side of a chasm. An action is the bridge you must build to get there. This is wrong. Purpose is a direction of travel. It is a vector, a way of being. The execution isn't the price you pay to achieve your purpose. The execution is the purpose, expressed in real time. The goal for a writer is to be a person who writes. The goal for an entrepreneur is to be a person who builds and solves problems. The daily, imperfect, often frustrating actions are the living manifestation of the purpose. There is no gap to cross. There is only the next step that aligns with your chosen direction. The daydream feels safe because it's a static image of a destination, a finished book on a shelf, a successful company, a finish line. A living purpose is dynamic. It's a process. It's the verb, the action itself. When you see it this way, the pressure to make a grand leap disappears. All that's left is the choice of the next small, non-zero action that points you in the right direction. The person living in your daydreams isn't waiting for you on some distant shore. They are forged in the decision to write one more sentence when you're tired. They are built in the choice to make one more call when you're discouraged. The purpose was never something to be found. It was always something to be built. And this reframing of purpose as a process, instead of a prize, explains why the popular advice to simply follow your passion can so often lead to paralysis, which is a different kind of execution trap entirely.